December.
No. All right, here we go. So the very first thing I suggest you always do is figure out where your asymptote is. Your asymptote will tell you what kind of graph you have, okay? So my asymptote's the straightest part of my graph. Where is my asymptote? What about -4? Y equals -4. So you have to draw your asymptote, okay? I know this isn't in front of you, but I highly suggest you actually draw it on your paper, or if you're on the computer, you got to draw it, okay? So if I have an asymptote that is horizontal, side to side, what kind of graph is that? An exponential or a log? An exponential. Remember, if I draw the E for exponential, it's right there is my asymptote. Okay, so it's the horizontal is exponential. X-intercept, about what is my x-intercept? About 5.2, I'll take it. It has to be written as a point. 5.2 comma 0, a point, okay? If you put 5, it's definitely not 5, and if you put 6, it's not 6. It could have been 5.1, 5.3, I would take either one of those, okay? The y-intercept is a little tricky. What do you think my y-intercept is? It looks like it's -4, but let's look at something. If I put a point at -4, what is it touching? That asymptote. Is it allowed to touch the asymptote? So if I were to zoom into this graph, is it really touching the -4? It's just above it, like we zoomed in yesterday. So what's a number just above -4? -3.9, okay? So 0, -3.9. It cannot touch your asymptote. So if you put -4, it's going to be wrong. It cannot touch the asymptote. Questions about that? Okay. Domain, which way does domain go? Left to right. If I come from the far left, what do I get to first? Anybody? Thank you, -infinity. And if I come from the far right, although it doesn't really look like it's going right, this is going up and to the right. So what do I get to first? +infinity. Very good. My range, where's the bottom of my graph? What did you say? -4. It is. The bottom of my graph is -4, but can I ever touch -4? So what does it need? A parenthesis. Very good. And where's the top of my graph? +infinity. Okay. Last one, and then we're done with this warm-up. The maximum on the interval or between 0 and 5. So if I have a line at 0, just a second, I'll move out of the way, and a line at 5, I care about what's in between here. So in between, what is the maximum? What's my highest I can go? -1. Very good. Right here is the highest my point can go. So I can either write -1, or you can write 5 -1. Those are your choices. You don't have to write both, but one of those is what I would take as the correct answer. Questions? Okay. So here's what you have today. You have this sheet of paper. If you are at home, listen first, then I'll tell you where it goes, okay? You have this sheet of paper. I'll show it to you really quick. It's going to have a bunch of graphs, okay? These graphs are not in order. You have to pick from what I give you which graph you are using. So it's not necessarily in order. You have to use a piece of information and figure out what graph it is and then finish that information, okay? So everybody, there are 8 graphs today. If you are on Zoom, I will show you where it is right now. Let me get to my whiteboard. If you go to Schoology, we are in Unit 10. We are in Topic 1. And under Practice, it's the form that has the number 2 in front of it. Has the number 2 in front of it, okay? My answer key is on there, and my answer key is also posted around the room. I think you're silly if you don't draw your asymptote first, okay? All right, so if you will start getting to work, please, then we can ask questions and check answers. Don't forget that your IXL from Thursday is due tonight. No more weekend extensions. It's due at midnight tonight.